Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be a client spirit guide session. So spirit guide sessions are basically an open space for card reading and just receiving anything that comes through, anything that was on the mind while focusing on your question. And so for those types of sessions, I like to really take my time to figure out what decks I want to work with, what the energy is that I'm feeling for you in that specific time frame that you're asking about. I was searching for the decks I wanted to use, and of course I felt drawn to the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. I also felt really pulled, and it's for you and another client that I was feeling really pulled to work with, the Victorian Flower Oracle. So I have not used this deck in quite a while, but it came to mind when I was figuring out which decks I wanted to work with for you guys. And for you and my other client, this one was this one was the one that popped up in my mind. So I am going to go with the flow and work with that. Victorian Flower Oracle was a deck that I was on the hunt for a long time before I finally was able to get a copy for myself. So I was very pleased with that. I'm going to work with the, what is this deck called? The Wizard's Tarot as well. Because I feel like the messages that come through with this deck are very clear. And I want that to happen with this reading because I need a clear message. So I just want to make sure everything is in focus and you guys could see everything. I pulled out some rose quartz for you because even though your question is focused more on your financial future and the career path, you did ask about love, and I know that deep down inside you're probably hoping that, you know, a piece of the love will come through. So rose quartz is always my crystal for love, and I have a fluorite here, which is my crystal for abundance, and I also signify the color green with money and the future and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it would be nice to have a green crystal on the table. And of course I always have a clear quartz and my beautiful amethyst here, because amethyst is good for enhancing psychic clarity, and clear quartz is good for enhancing everything else on the table. Okay, so what I want to do is I really want to start with the oracle decks, and while I shuffle I'm just going to start talking. I read your question over to remind myself what exactly it was that you wanted some insight with. And while I was focusing on that, I was getting a lot of impressions of winter time. Okay. And so I kept seeing like snow, and I was thinking of winter in terms of I feel like the winter is really pretty much upon us. I associate November with fall still, even though I believe winter starts, or it has already started. But I do associate December, January, February with winter. So I'm feeling the months of December, January, and February are going to be really changing, transformative months. I have the image of one of those trees where the leaves have already turned orange and red in the fall season, but the leaves are starting to fall. And I feel like that is symbolic for you going through the shift and the change. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of, with this process of looking for the actual job that you worked so hard with in your school. It's the process of transformation that's going to have to take place with you. You are going to have to be willing to act like the chameleon and kind of blend in with the new energies that you're going to be working with and around. I feel like it's very important that you, the quote, fake it till you make it. I feel like that comes up for you. I feel like it's one of those things where you may not have the job just yet, but if you start acting and working like you have it, and like you know how to do it and that you've been doing it for years, that is going to be good manifesting energy for you to manifest that sort of line of work into your very near future. So the month of December, January and February are going to be kind of like shedding the layers of your skin. I'm seeing, like, I see an image of a snake, and I get the image, like, whenever I see snakes, I think of the fact that they shed their skin, and they do it in a process to shed the old and allow the new shiny skin to come through. So I feel like that's also symbolic for you, that you are in the process of change, and you need to be able to really embrace that. Even though you may feel like you're not ready yet, or like I haven't done this kind of work long enough to feel comfortable. Fake it till you make it. I feel like that's like a big message for you. Let's see what else. Definitely as far as like a spirit guide goes, we'll see what the cards have to say, but my intuition is telling me a male energy. And so I feel like it's going to be male, and then someone who's just very kind of like that nurture father type, and or like that protective over older brother type of energy. So that's what I'm feeling, but we'll see what the cards show. And then as far as love goes, I do have a feeling that love will come through in the reading, but just because I will pull a couple extra cards at the end if it doesn't, to kind of, bring that all together. So let's start. So we have the Camellia, which is hidden romance, healing, centering, needs and necessities, a message. I love it. And then let's pull some tarot. So the way I work, you guys, is I pull cards intuitively. I don't have a spread that I work with. I just like to pull the cards as they come, and I set them out on the table how I feel that they should be laid out. So all of that is a message in itself, and then I go in and read it. So just bear with me for now. We have the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, Six of Cups, and Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh, you have so many new beginnings on the way. Okay, so all of this is laid out. This is how I'm going to be reading it. Your future and the potential future for your dream path, your career, everything that you've worked so hard for. Congratulations for completing your studies and everything. But what I'm seeing here is centering and healing are like the two main messages here from your guide. And your guide is giving you the message of centering as being, you need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself health-wise. And making sure that you are making yourself and your needs the center of attention. So that's how I'm reading that. I feel like centering is kind of saying, as long as you are putting yourself first and you are seeing the importance of your needs, your specific needs, and the importance of you taking care of yourself, everything is going to be okay. But I feel like that is a little bit hard for you to do that. I feel like it's hard for you to put yourself first or your needs first. You are very much you care for others, and you want to make sure everyone else is happy, and you tend to everyone else's needs. But right now, especially the next 3 months, as I said, the winter time season, this is going to be very big for you to put yourself first. And I'm really just seeing this as the center of attention, because that's how you are going to prepare yourself to shed, like I said, when we were talking about the snake that I was seeing, to shed your layers and allow yourself to be brand new and to be transformative and to be open to that transformation. So the other thing I want to point out is, you probably can't see it in the card, but she has butterfly wings, and wings to me in general, it's about flight, it's about change, it's about growth. But the fact that it's a butterflies are all about a metamorphosis. They go through the metamorphosis as a caterpillar into a butterfly. And I feel like that's very symbolic for you too, as I was saying, like how I was seeing the snake shedding his skin and the layers, the leaves falling from the tree. Like, it's all symbolic for release, it's all symbolic for change, and that's definitely what's going to be happening. And I do feel like this is going to be energy that will be seriously taking place starting December through February. Winter time is going to be a big shift for you. And I do feel that you will be successful in finding the at least the starting point of the job that you were looking for. It will transpire, like it'll happen. But as far as like getting the like the acceptance note or the phone call where they offer you the position, I can't say if that'll happen or not, because things can change, but I do feel like that energy is definitely leading there. You have 2 ace cards in your reading. It's a lot of full-blown like beginning phase energy, that kind of thing. So definitely very promising there for that. The healing card here is telling me, one, I feel like there's a lot of stuff from the past that you kind of still trip yourself up over. I feel like maybe you've had negative experiences with work in the past, or you've had negative experiences with school and where you felt like you weren't going to make it. The healing process it's going to be very much needed for you to kind of allow yourself to feel those emotions, but then move on from it, and no more looking into the past, because the past it's irrelevant. And the further that you go in this journey, the more irrelevant it's going to become. So this is definitely a path of needing to, I feel, needing to, like I said, put yourself as the center of attention and put yourself first. Also take note that in the healing card, she's actually standing in front of 2 bottles, which in my opinion, these look like 2 bottles of liquor. And to me, I feel like this is like she's healing from maybe perhaps her drug or her alcohol issues. But for you, you know, obviously that may or may not align with you, but I feel like that's symbolic for putting yourself first. So definitely the message of placing yourself first before other situations, and putting your health and your needs and and all of that, your emotional stability first before anything else. Now at the core here, with the other oracle cards, we have Sweet Pea, which is needs and necessities. I love that she's drinking vigorously through the water jug. I feel like this is showing the need for you to, like I said, sustain yourself and take care of yourself. It goes along with the healing and the centering, putting yourself first. I love that the way I laid it out, it came right out in the middle, right between centering and healing, which is showing that she's not caring about all the other little creatures in the card. You know, they're all watching her. You know, the 2 flowers in the background, they look like they're thirsty as well, but she's putting herself first. She's having the drink, you know. So I just feel like it's just symbolic, like the need for you to really put yourself first, take care of yourself, is very important. The hidden romance, I want to tap into this more. And I'm going to pull cards for that one too, because I feel like this is going to stand out on its own. But I feel like the hidden romance, it's almost like it's off into the shadows and in the background. I feel like even though you have amazing love happening right now for you, as far as the path goes with work, and finding a job, you know, it's eventually those paths are going to cross. But right now, I don't want you to focus too much on, the love, because I don't want you to let that influence any choices that you make as far as, you know, a job that you apply for, or a job that you might accept. So I feel like the hidden romance, it says hidden for a reason. I feel like your guides are kind of saying the romance is there, but hidden is really sticking out to me. And I feel like they're saying, keep it in the background. Don't let love start to dictate your choices that you make, because you've worked so hard to start, what's the word? You work so hard to already start making sacrifices for your dreams, and don't do that. So, and then next I have the lilac, which is the message. So, that's why I pulled the tarot cards, because it's like, okay, well, what was the message? So the message of the lilac, we have the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. It's all urgency message. The core here is the Ace of Pentacles, which is obviously, this is a job opportunity. So your guides are revealing to you that yes, there will be a job opportunity. I also love that there's snow on the trees, because like I was saying, I was seeing the image of winter. So I feel like this is definitely pretty much solidifying my feeling that yes, you will find that job and it will come up. The opportunity will be there, as long as you're doing what you need to do, which is taking care of yourself, putting yourself first, and putting the love in the back seat. Don't let the love or romance take the center of attention, because it's there. It will always be there, but you need to focus on you right now. So I feel like it's amazing that it's a winter setting card. So I feel like that's just kind of, it's proving to me that what I was seeing was correct, but also that for you, that, like I said, December through February is going to be a very big time for you, as far as finding work. The Ace of Pentacles is usually my card for a job offer, or at least an interview, an abundance, you know. So that's a good thing to look forward to. It's a new beginning. You have the Queen of Cups plus the Knight of Swords, and these are very opposite energies, okay? So I feel like this is important. I feel like the Queen of Cups at your back is revealing, always make sure that your heart is in everything that you do, because the Queen of Cups is everything. She's all about emotions and all about tapping in, coming from the heart, that kind of thing. And I feel like the Knight of Swords is the energy of, he's gonna take action. He's the action energy. And whereas she's like, this is from the heart source. It's like you're looking for work, but you're letting your heart lead you. And then when it comes to action, it's be very aggressive, because the Knight of Swords is a very unforgiving and aggressive energy in a positive though. Knight of Swords will always get the job done. The Knight of Swords will always get things going as they're supposed to. He's very brave and confident in himself. So these are all the traits that you need to have. And with that comes being very centered and balanced. So you kind of see the theme there. And then over here we have the Knight of Wands, which is really tapping into like your creative aspect, but this is fire energy, so it's very opposite. I feel like once you get into the line of work, because I put the cards on this side, so I feel like this is like the beginning and then actually getting the flow of the job. I see the Knight of Wands is like, once you get that creative energy flow, you're really going to start revealing new things to you, because it looks like he's like wandering in a cave and he has the fire guiding his way. So to me, it's like when you're tapping into your heart and your passions, your creativity, you're going to start revealing new things to yourself. And I feel like that's what this card is showing, is that once you're in this line of work, you may not know what you're doing just yet, but you're going to start figuring it out. So that's why I feel like that fake it till you make it quote came up to mind for that specific reason. It's like, just act like you know what you're doing, and everything will be illuminated as it should be, or as it will happen. So it's kind of cool to think it's like your guides are going to help you out no matter what. You're gonna have the answers. You're gonna know what to do, what to say. Don't worry about it. And then I got the Six of Cups and the Ace of Cups. So I love this because I feel like this aligns more so with the love energy. So after with that, the Six of Cups, there's children. Now, I don't know if you and your present significant other have talked about having kids, but this might be where you will feel so grounded in your career path, and you will start to feel like, you know, things are working out in your favor, where the topic of kids might start coming up. This card can definitely reveal that. That's why I want to tap into the love section right after, because I feel like this is going into that. I feel like the Six of Cups is the discussion of children. I also feel like the Six of Cups is aligning you with your path. It's showing that you are following a path that is close to your heart, that maybe as a child or as a young girl, you thought about, you know, where you would be 10, 20 years from now, and now you're living it. So that's also what I see with the card of nostalgia, which is usually what the Six of Cups means, nostalgic. And then we have Ace of Cups, which is, again, new beginnings with an ace card. So to get 2 aces in your reading for this is a positive. Definitely, it shows that, yes, you are going to be transforming, and you're going to be changing so much. And to have 2 aces, it just shows a lot of new beginnings in your future. So that's really promising. Ace of Cups is also new beginnings of the heart. So maybe this is definitely that proposal that you're looking for, you're hoping for. This could also signify, you know, your relationship taking another step. So if you have been asking or wanting to know if your relationship would take that next step, this Ace of Cards can show that, but it's coming after you actually get the job. So I feel like all of this stuff is going to start aligning for you after you get the job, not before, which is why I feel like your guides are revealing hidden romance, the hidden portion, like that was sticking out to me. They're saying the romance is there and it's going places, but it's not meant to take the driver's seat in this path. You really have to put yourself first. Center yourself and focus on your journey of finding the job, because once you get the job, all of this other stuff is going to happen. So that's what I'm seeing here. So really quickly, let's just pull a couple cards regarding the romance, because I want to see, just for your sake, what what the cards have to say. So let's just pull a couple tarot cards. Oh yeah, I love it. So we have Transfiguration, the Lovers, and the Five of Wands. King of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and the Empress. Oh yeah, if you guys have been discussing children, just know that is definitely in the cards for you. I feel like right now, maybe, because, okay, so it's kind of funny, because we see the King of Pentacles, which is a very, the King of Pentacles could signify your significant other. But this King of Pentacles is a very, like, a fruitful individual. They are very grounded, and they plant seeds. But I also see this as they plant the seed within you. The Two of Swords comes here at the core, though, which is telling me it's kind of like a block. So either you're on birth control, perhaps, or you are making sure that you're being very careful with not having any accidents take place right now, because you're not ready for that yet. But then the Empress is in the future, and the Empress is always symbolizing fertility or pregnancy, as she is pregnant in the card. So I do feel like if you guys have talked about it, or if you've thought about it, that kids, yes, having a child, at least maybe one, is showing up for sure in the future. So if you are not planning that right now or ever, just be careful. But if you are, then it's showing that yes, this will take place. At the core of this, we have the Lovers. So I love that the Lovers card came up, because it's definitely showing when that card comes up and we're asking about love. To me, that just shows me that the energies are aligned, that you guys are both on the same page, that there's a lot of really strong energies between the two of you. So that's a really plus. It's a plus for you. Five of Wands. I love that it's like you have all of these hands reaching down, and you have the, what are these called? The magic wands here into the fire. To me, that's showing that it's just fueling the fire. It is the passion there. There's a lot of attention, time and planning is going to your relationship. You guys are both very much into it. You guys are both very much looking for, keeping the flame alive, that kind of thing. That's how I'm seeing that. So it shows that, yes, you guys are very much on the same page. It's definitely a very good match for the two of you. There's a very promising future there with the having kids and whatnot. I just feel like you guys are in that phase right now where you're both trying to figure out, you're both getting your wings, you're both trying to figure out where you are both going. Maybe he is getting settled in his own path, or trying to figure out, you know, where you're going to be, so that you guys can figure out if you guys can move in together or be in the same area, that kind of thing. Let those topics come up as they are meant to. That is not something that you should worry about while you are job hunting. So I want you to focus solely on job hunting before any of that other stuff comes up. But to answer your question, yeah, I do see a very promising future. Just as long as the two of you are continually putting the, building that fire, your passion. So beautiful cards. This concludes your spirit guide reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I hope that you were able to gain some insight and get the answers that you were looking for. If you have any questions, email me. And anybody who's watching, if you are interested in a reading, click the link below. Check out my website, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.